Time to buckle up the Seminoles and the Tigers. Their first meeting since 2019 underway in Baton Rouge. Here comes FSU. Latson on cue, the layup. Let's take a look at our Capital One starting lineups. Up first for the Tigers, a healthy Aneesah Morrow. She leads America in rebounding, a healthy Flau'jae Johnson.
They were knocked out against Alabama last year in the first round, but the lack of defense. Much more pressure this year. They try to keep you on the side. Not easy to get good looks.
Flau'jae Johnson, the mid-range, too strong. Aneesah Morrow, the step back, no. And is tracked down by Latson.
We know Morrow, the best rebounder in college basketball with a huge will.
Gordon, the point guard, off the mark. To take a look at FSU's starting five. Great conversation with her earlier today at shoot-around. Her team is locked in and ready to roll. There's a great conversation. We had a little dancing at shoot-around, which we'll tell you about coming up here in a few minutes. Tigers trying to scratch the scoreboard, and Aneesah Morrow will do exactly that.
Both teams very comfortable turning into a track meet. And boy, those baseline out of bounds under this time of the year, you cannot give them up. Every possession is magnified, and just a breakdown that time by LSU underneath.
Latson with 4, and Jimmy, that's what both sides were working on first this morning at shoot-around. Those out of bounds plays inside to Smith.
Samaya Smith is 6'2" and long, not in double figures often, but good sign early for LSU to get her involved on the offensive end.
Latson with a three-pointer. Talked with her this morning, Tania Latson. I said, how would you assess your performance, the first NCAA tournament win on Saturday? She said, I give myself an A-. I need to be more vocal. I need to make sure my leadership is where it needs to be to win a game like tonight. Great dish from Flau'jae inside to Morrow.
Yeah, she is such a workhorse on the inside. Tremendous leg strength and great hands. Doesn't fumble balls at all in traffic.
Here goes Latson, and that is where she specialized. Aneesah Morrow leads America in rebounding. Latson, the leading scorer in the country.
This is a young lady that's going to get off 20, 21 shots a game. Such a tough cover is Tania Latson. Latson with 8.
Stolen. She averages more than 2 steals per game. The mid-range. She'll get it back. Tania Latson dominating early, and it's 10-6.
If LSU has a concern in this tournament, it's the point guard play. And Kim Mulkey has said, I've got a 2-quarterback system between my 2 point guards. It's just whoever's playing the best, but they cannot turn the ball over, just manage it in this game.
Morrow to Smith. Jimmy, here comes the pace you and I were talking about. Turnage. Bounce pass is picked off. Here comes Flau'jae.
Cheyenne Day Wilson set to check in.
Bowles for 3. Timpson on the offensive glass and stolen by Smith. Flau'jae, her eyes on the basket and foul. 10 points, 2 boards. Latson gets a breather, nearly halfway home, and an entertaining start in our first quarter, the second round. I mentioned the pace, the points per game, and both of these teams operating at a hectic tempo to start.
Yeah, I love the energy that both teams are playing with early. Elite speed from the SEC and the ACC on the floor right now.
Cheyenne Day Wilson on the floor for the first time, coming off an 11-point outburst against San Diego State.
And again, just manage the game. If you're the LSU point guard, you're surrounded by All-Americans.
Kim Mulkey basically reiterated that to us earlier this morning. Williams from downtown. 9-0 run for LSU. Gordon. Here's Smith. And the outlet. Here come the Tigers.
Well, you have to walk that fine line if you're Florida State in this building. You want to stay aggressive and play fast, but not to the expense of opening up this game in front of the home crowd.
Morrow with the mid-range.
And not a lot of people get to see that side of her. I have loved, and you as well, we have absolutely loved our time with Kim Mulkey here in Baton Rouge.
It's been fantastic. Off the steal, Latson back on the court. She has all 10 Florida State points, and now her second steal. Make that 12 in a row for Tania Latson.
Good enough to keep you in the game, but got to have some help to win the game.
Day Wilson to Morrow. She's been active inside to Smith. Here's Latson again. Last foul was a non-shooting foul. Bonner for 3. And the rebound to Day Wilson.
Where you got to make him. Latson's going to get a lot of attention on her when she drives that ball to paint. You've got to make your open threes if you're Florida State to hang in this game.
Backdoor cut, Michaela Williams.
LSU has cut in the games that we've seen here so far.
Gordon the runner, short. Timpson on the offensive glass. First bucket for a non-Tenaya Latson player.
Florida State wants to keep that ball on the side. They down anything on the sidelines, force it to the baseline.
Smith too strong, late whistle. Williams picks up her first. Smith at the stripe, 66%. And one more coming.
They won the national championship coming out of as a 3 seed back in 2023. Very comfortable where they sit right now in this bracket.
22-14, 1 of 2 at the line. Latson over to Gordon. Corner triple. Big shot. A much-needed three-pointer makes it 22-17.
That can't happen if you're LSU on your home floor. You allow someone on the first side to be wide open from three. What a competitor.
Latson, how about the strength?
Like I said on Saturday, some coaches come into a game like this hoping they can win. Other coaches believe they can.
Latson with 13. Wyckoff's message to her team this morning: be relentless, and that included the 1 hour shoot-around.
She didn't like the opening shooting drill that they went through and circled them up and said, that better be the last unrelentless thing we do today.
And Latson again forcing the issue. There comes the whistle and a foul. She's changed that number to that number, playing AAU basketball. 007, if you will.
The nation's leading scorer since November. 25 points a game coming in.
Williams, the layup line.
Like Williams driving it downhill.
Timpson contested. In and out. Explosive start for the home team. It's 72% from the floor. Williams, wide open.
But she's right there with him. Leads this team in assists and third in scoring, almost 18 a game.
From the wing.
Mitchell, Williams.
Here comes Williams.
That's a charge.
And an offensive foul. That's a big turnover.
By Bowles.
Latson for three, and she comes up short at the buzzer. Yeah, Williams had the three. Gordon had a three. A putback by Timpson. Outside of that, it has been all Tenaya Latson. Breather to start the second, and Gordon fouled. 84% at the line, the third leading scorer. The Seminoles this year, first team All-ACC. I think that's another part of why this game has so much cachet. You see Williams and Flage on the bench. Miracle Shepherd on the floor. She scored in double figures in that first round win against San Diego State. And the bounce pass out of bounds.
And again, that's where Florida State is different this year than last year. They've improved defensive efficiency by about 35 points on the year.
Timpson.
Coming off of a double-double Saturday, 18 and 11. She is a walking double-double for Florida State.
Gilbert forces the issue, and her first field goal here in the NCAA tournament was 0 for 9 Saturday. Made 4 free throws and a 3 by Williams. Miracle Shepherd, the Mississippi State transfer. Last year, Poa outside. Smith on the offensive glass, and she traveled.
There have been some great, not good, great individual performances in this tournament so far. I was watching yesterday, Serena Sundell, the 6-foot point guard from K-State, 19 and 14 in their win at Kentucky.
Aaron pass from Gordon. Gilbert short on the layup. Here comes FSU. Looking to tie or take the lead. Bowles from the corner. And Florida State grabs its first advantage of this ball game. Poked away. Morrow corrals it. Aneesah Morrow in and out.
They want kick-out threes, and they want to get to that free throw line 20, 25 times a game.
One more coming, trending and tracking towards another double-double. 28 this season, more than 100 in her career after beginning that career at DePaul.
Her mom played hoops for Nebraska, so an athletic family brought up to be tough.
Latson with a crease. Timpson. Up and in, and a chance for three.
She's got a chance to be a high draft pick. She's 6'2", has a great pursuit and quickness of that basketball. The game winner this year from the 15-foot mark against Miami. Just a lot of talent inside that jersey when I watch her play.
How about the back-and-forth nature of this game? The 6 versus the 3. Winner advancing to the Sweet 16.
They come in averaging 15 turnovers a game, and they're going to creep towards that number right now if they don't get control of it.
Morrow. Yep. Latson surveys. Bowles with a hot hand. Not this time. Shepard, the crossover. Gilbert on Treadwell. Inside to Smith.
Yep.
And now that she's healthy, she admitted watching this team on the bench last year, the postseason, falling in the Elite Eight. It was tough at times, and now back with a vengeance in 2025. Florida State has a way of creating matchup problems. So does LSU. Jada Richard lays it in.
That's those fast break points I'm talking about. Now, she had to go through contact and pretty good defense. But you do not, if you're Florida State, want to turn that thing over with live ball turnovers in this game.
Crowd back in it. Latson and a chance for 3.
We mentioned it on Saturday. She went to that free throw line 14 times. If you're LSU, you cannot one-on-one cover her.
Forti's 5 lead changes. 42-39, and a lot of basketball left to be played. Here in the second round of the NCAA Tournament. State capital of Louisiana, we're calling Baton Rouge, and what an atmosphere,
yeah.
And here's a steal. KK Timpson, coast to coast.
Well, they are scoring off their defense, are they not? Just the exact type of game we thought we would have all weekend long. Looking forward to Monday.
Gilbert from the elbow. Only 5 for the Seminoles. Timpson, 44-43. Timpson now in double figures.
I like her game a lot, and I love the fact that she loves to fish as much as I do. Big time into bass fishing, crappie fishing. We had a great conversation about it today after the shoot-around.
Shepard with a bounce. Willed that one in. She averages 25 per game. Timpson. Boy, the ball just died on the heel and dropped.
A high, flat ball screen set by Timpson. And as soon as her defender went towards the ball, just an easy throwback for the 15-footer.
Mid-range is there for Richard.
Are we playing with a legal ball?
She'll survey between the legs. Circus shot, and it drops.
That is special.
Back to work for Morrow. Saves it. Step back. Soft rim. Didn't help that time, and Timpson grabs a rebound and then is tripped in the process.
Real joy how she plays the game of basketball.
And she was all business in our conversations this morning. And a little bit of a different aura compared to before that first round win against George Mason. And this is the stage, this is the spotlight Tania Latson's been waiting for, been dreaming about. Latson, yes!
She just, by Michaela Timpson.
That's her verse, and perhaps a message being delivered there in that battle in the post between Morrow and Timpson. Richard off the hezzy. Morrow on the offensive glass. Venezuela with the rejection, saved by LSU. Richard again.
Wow, such a tough kid.
Latson for 3, short. Shot clock is off. 3 seconds remaining. Richard heaves it.
23, though, leads it with Latson.
That is our game track brought to you by Invesco. QQQ. Scoring in bunches, fast break opportunities, 3-pointers for both sides, and the stars shining brightly here in this second round matchup.
Well, remember, Florida State, they're 17-1 if they make 8 or more threes. They've already made 5 in the first half.
LSU, Samaya Smith in double figures. Outside to Bowles, short on the triple. Tapped out back to LSU.
That has been their oxygen all year.
Jimmy, you comfortable with this pace for both sides? We know both teams like to score. Can they continue to handle that kind of foot traffic and what we witnessed in the first 2 quarters?
Absolutely. I don't see a sign of either team flinching. There's a foul right there to reach in defensively.
Didn't see her all hardly.
Michaela Williams, we talked about it. She had scholarship offers for softball as a 7th grader. And talking to her before the game, she said, I was a catcher And a lot of time on that clock. Those point guards for LSU, they're not out there to score. They're out there to manage the game.
Bowles on Williams. Mid-range.
Yep.
Florida State on the board here in our third quarter. Sydney Bowles with 5 points. Inside to Morrow. Latson contested. Here's Smith. Flage's only attempted 3 shots tonight. Make it 4. And how about that finish?
Yes, ma'am, again.
And Flage Johnson was 3 the hard way moments ago. Early foul troubles tonight. The lead is back to 8. Knowles only 2 points in the second half. Make it 4. And there's Latson.
Unbelievable around that rim. It's hard to guard.
Day Wilson outside of Flage. The Hezzy. The layup.
So she was raised by a single mom. Just a beautiful spirit inside that 4 white jersey.
Latson on the cut and stolen away by Morrow.
Good pass.
To Smith. Williams is wide open.
Bam!
That's a 3. Gordon, the silencer.
I mean, those are just valuable minutes for LSU right now to continue to increase this lead with Latson on the bench. Can they take advantage of it?
LSU outscoring FSU 14-6 here in the third. The
What
dump
pass.
off.
Roy, the 19th assist in this game.
Timpson off the lob, no.
That was a great pass, one that Timpson should have finished.
.435 to go in the third. Morrow for 3.
Whoop.
Flage Johnson, foul. She's dropped 2 albums. You mentioned the 2 albums with Jay-Z's Rock Nation.
Well, she's a special young lady. She's not stingy at all with her blessing. And she has used some of her money to help support single moms because she was raised by a single mom. And her song was blaring over the loudspeakers. Like, how many people get to do that? You know what I'm saying?
A special athlete, a special person. And for Florida State, you don't want to say it's now or never, but a slow start here in the third quarter. And Latson, the high dribble, thought she was fouled. Largest lead for LSU playing in front of this raucous crowd. Williams, silky smooth on the spin and the finish.
I think that young lady's got a chance to be the SEC Player of the Year someday. I mean, she's 6 feet, she's powerful, can score from so many ways. What a great job by Day Wilson as that point guard to pressure and bother and force a turnover with a push-off.
Tonight, Latson 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Also, the turnovers starting to mount up. Got 5 in the game. Smith down low. Florida State hanging on. Latson open. High arcing triple, no. Timpson on the offensive glass. Latson corrals it. One more chance. 3 opportunities and an empty possession for FSU.
As they score here, this building is going to be tested in terms of how strong the roof is because they are waiting to explode.
Inside to Morrow.
Nothing in this game pointed to the team in white backing off at all from the pace they want to play. And they are bringing the smoke right now to a really good Florida State team.
Another turnover, Jimmy.
In the ACC, as good as that league is, it doesn't overall have the size and the athleticism that they're up against today.
Knowles have turned it over 6 times in this quarter.
Yeah.
It's been all LSU since halftime in the midst of a 10-0 run. Williams, the pump fake. Foul on the delivery.
The road has been very good to the top 4 seeds so far in this women's tournament. Only 3 losses prior to this game starting.
And you see Maryland in overtime.
I believe if that score holds up, it would be 29-3 for those teams playing on their home court in this tournament.
The block by Johnson. She'll head the other direction. Bump by Latson. She said, yeah, we've kept in touch since then. via Instagram. They respect each other's game. There's no close friendship, and certainly that's not on display tonight.
Boy, LSU's 29-5 on the season. They had lost 3 or 4 coming in. A lot of kids in double figures for LSU in this game. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them right now. Morrow and Williams lead the way with 21 and 20.
Latson off the mark. Shot clock will reset. And Morrow taking her time.
Waking up every day with just a will. An absolute will when the ball's on the glass. And you see what she's done right there. Anytime you've done something similar to Courtney Parrish back in Oklahoma, you're a special young lady and a talent. And that's what she is. And she studies film. She knows the tendencies of her own team, when they're going to shoot, when they're not. She's the first to the glass. She doesn't wait for the ball to be released. She gets to that glass on the rise of the shooter, which all great rebounders understand.
Williams, why not?
Kim Mulkey's having a party over there on that sidelines.
Michaela Williams, a sophomore right here in Louisiana. Began her career at Texas. 24 points.
Man.
And Florida State ends the third quarter. 6.5 minutes without a point.
You talk about total domination.
Flage and Michaela combined for 21 points, fueling that run in the third. And Latson, well short. Tonight, Latson 23 in the first 2 quarters, just 2 in the third. That time off after the SEC tournament has meant a lot to this program, Jimmy.
Well, you look at the banners up there that the women's programs have won here and all the trips to the Final Four. Embraces those that love her, and I put me on that side of it. Has not lost one drop of competitive fight from the time she was a player to where she is now.
It was an exciting weekend for her as well. Her best friend, Jan Crawford, a CBS News correspondent. Her daughter played at Georgia Mason, so they got to spend some time together before. She's got 5 assists tonight too, Jimmy.
And appreciate the pass by Dave Wilson, and that's exactly what Kim Mulkey needs out of that 2-quarterback system.
Yeah, those were her words, not ours. A 2-quarterback system. For more information on tournament game times and networks, go to NCAA.com.
Man, we're in SEC territory. How about the SEC on the men's side? 7 teams to the Sweet 16. Watching Vic Schaefer's team today before he came over, just defensively in Austin, Texas.
Now you think about Madison Booker, the SEC Player of the Year. Horns have been dominant in their wins against William & Mary in the first round, and in Illinois earlier today over at Moody Center. 85-57, 90 seconds into our fourth quarter. Folks, this was a 1-point game at halftime, and then LSU happened in the third.
Yeah, Florida State has scored, you do the math, 8 points in this second half. Is that right?
Flage racing for the rebound is Day Wilson. Back and forth.
That is big time. I'm telling you, it all started with Cheyenne Day Wilson moving that basketball, having great vision. Boy, Kim Mulkey getting exactly what she wants from that point guard spot so far from Day Wilson.
And it's managing the game. She scored 11 points against San Diego State. It was the first time at LSU since she transferred in from Miami that she reached double figures, but it was the lack of turnovers and all the assists. Managing the game, and Michaela Williams, what a performance, 28 on the board.
LSU just goes to a horn set, and Williams just breaks right off the passer at that horn set for an easy one.
Well, you wondered about the track meet and the pace. Did both of these teams keep up what we witnessed in the first quarters, first half, and it was all LSU since the break, and a timeout called.
I have fallen in love with this LSU team. Not in terms of how good they are, but how much joy they have. Your team have life and joy about them and how they play. And this LSU team has been it since we've been in Baton Rouge.
And those passing lanes, the angles, the finishes. You mentioned earlier, 26 assists. In and out, and back down it goes for Smith. She's got 20 points, a new season high for her. Just the way they share the basketball. Joy's a great word. Latson the step back three and splashes that one in. She's got third.
Over the last couple of days.
Morrow.
Kim Mulkey goes to that 2 or 3 times a half.
Valenzuela, no. And Williams fouled on the way up. Well, you know, NC State and head coach Westmore watching this game tonight. They've assembled there and run to the Final Four a year ago, trying to make it back. And LSU and NC State played in November, so a rematch of sorts headed to Spokane, Washington on Friday night. And there's going to be some outstanding athletes on display in that game. And a battle of wills between the SEC and the ACC.
And Morrow, I'm just telling you, you go back and watch film, you watch her live, you watch her in practice, she does not fumble the ball, ever. Look at that snatch right there, just went and got it, man.
And that's another double-double, Jimmy, 24 and 10. And Morrow with 7 dimes tonight as well, so flirting with a triple-double. Those 7 assists, a new career high.
Where she leads the nation in rebounding, and she is maybe 6'1".
FSU looked the part in that win over George Mason on Saturday.
And the first half of this game.
Really did.
Gonna stop the action.
Timpson remains on the floor after the 3 by Bowles. There's a certain piece that comes with that. Stay Wilson.
She does not fumble it, and once she has it, you're not taking it away. A little bit of ice to that right eye. That's well, those are battle scars. A walking double-double, her 103rd of her career for Aneesah Morrow.
Well, the sights, the sounds of March, and the bruises as well.
It was a 1-point game at half if you're just now turning it on. 50-49. That first half, I talk about you want to be hot, healthy, and hungry at the right time, and that's exactly what LSU is right now.
Del Rosario just checked in, and Treadwell a block. Del Rosario gets it back. Richard. Well, the 29 dimes, you've had to establish a couple of career highs. We mentioned 7 for Morrow, and Samaya Smith with 6 assists as well. It's a new career high for her. Didn't miss a shot. 12 rebounds. Villegas, no.
Fantastic special year from Latson and company. That is too much, though, by LSU out of the SEC for Florida State. Those athletes, man, they get a lot of deflections, a lot of runouts, and just create a lot of problems on both ends of the floor.
Jada Richard swatted out by Treadwell.
Kim's up 30 and arguing that there should have been 1 second left on the shot clock.
She's locked in. Her team has been locked in. Nearly a turnover on the inbounds. Valenzuela thinking about it. And that's going to do it. A second half for the ages. And Kim Mulkey back to the Sweet 16. The LSU Tigers headed to Spokane.
Just a dominant second half performance by LSU. Really the first half as well. Florida State was able to hang for the first 20 minutes, but not so much in the second half. Advanced to their 3rd straight Sweet 16.